Awesome. Great. Okay. Thank you, everybody, for jumping on. Welcome to our kickoff for the developer contest, the first developer contest of 2026, starting right on time, the beginning of February. Very excited for this one. We have a lot of great folks on the call right now to chat about this. So I'll go over my piece, just kind of chat about the rules and all the boring stuff, and then I'll get right to chatting with our product team and other folks here. So let me share my screen. Our contests this time around. This is one that we have done before, but I'm always a personal fan of seeing this contest appear. Is the full stack contest. We're going to start 2026 with a full stack development challenge. The topic specifically, we have some more detail in here, but I thought it's worth addressing. We want to see a full stack solution using Iris for Health, Iris Cloud Service. Essentially, we want Iris to be the backend that powers whatever awesome web app or mobile app or whatever you end up building there. So use your imagination. It can be pretty much anything you can dream up as long as it uses Iris in the backend. We say here inserts, updates, deletes data in Iris. You don't have to like specifically tailor your app to do just those things, but I'm assuming anything that you build is gonna do some of that. So that's the challenge here. I'm gonna go over some of the general requirements. These are pretty much the same. So if you've participated in our contest before, you probably already know this. But the application or library that you build has to be fully functional, and it can't just be like a direct import of something. Translating from a language to a different language doesn't count for being a novel submission. Everything that we'll accept here is either a new OpenExchange application, so something you've built and deployed for the first time to OpenExchange, or something that exists that you've already built but have made really significant improvement. We'll review them, and if it's something that is kind of equivalent in effort to a brand new app, that totally is acceptable as submission as well. We said this before, but we want the application to work with the Community Edition. That can be Iris Community Edition. It can also be Iris for Health Community Edition. You can have that downloaded locally from our evaluation site. You can pull it from the container registry, and you can also use one of our cloud offerings, as we say above here. The application, like everything else that's submitted to our contests, has to be open source. So this is a collaborative innovation contest, not for kind of closed source proprietary things. And we need a README file. Ideally, would be in English. I can't speak to everybody else. I can only read English, so I would be very much appreciated. And try and contain installation steps, a video demo, or a walkthrough somehow, something that really demonstrates the value of your submissions, a way to actually install it, use it, test it out, play with it. And then we have a cap of 3 submissions per developer. I would be pretty impressed if somebody managed to submit more than that in our contest, but we limit to ideally only 3 submissions per developer. Our prize pool, we have our experts nomination and then our community winners. For those of you who are new here, the experts are internal folks, product owners, developers, etc. We're going to select what we think are the best or the coolest or whatever criteria. And that is separate from the community winners, which is selected by you all. So everybody who is a member of the community can vote on what they like best or what they think is the coolest or most innovative. And those prize pools are separate, and they are not either or. So you can win a place in both. For the experts nomination, first place, it's a prize of $5,000. Second place, $2,500. Third place is $1,000. Fourth place is $500. Fifth place is $300. And then 6th and 10th place all get $100 prizes. So even if you don't make it to the podium, gold, silver, bronze, there's still a lot of prizes to be won. And community winners, very similar structure, but first place is $1,000. Second place is $600. Third is $300. Fourth is $200. And then fifth place is $500. So you can win from both or neither or one or the other. So definitely get out there and vote and also submit. Cool. Anybody in the developer community can participate in the contests. Again, many of you probably already know that. Many of you have probably already participated. But if you're new here, you are absolutely qualified to submit a contest submission. If you're a member of the developer community, the only folks who are excluded are us. So sorry, Raj, Tom, myself, we cannot participate. Important deadlines. So this is where I want to get kind of specific here. Today, right now, the contest begins. So right now, you could submit to this contest if you so chose. The application development and submission phase is going to run until February 22nd, 20 days from today, to build your full stack applications, deploy them, test them, and submit them. Starting on February 23rd, so the day right after that, is the voting period. So that's where the panel of experts here and also the broader community are going to get to actually run these things, mess around with them, stress test them, and then vote on what we think should be the winners here. That's going to go from the 23rd until March 1st, and that's when voting ends. An important note, there's nothing preventing you from improving your apps throughout the registration and voting period. So if you make some changes, you want to push some last minute improvements up after February 23rd, you technically can, but we encourage you to avoid doing that too late, because once we go through and test all the apps and vote on them, we might not go back and double check. So we might miss your updates. So try and get everything in to the registration and application development period. So that's today, the 2nd, through February 22nd. We have a whole list here of helpful resources. These are not by any means requirements or even things that we want to see, but they're just some example applications and templates that could be really useful for developing submissions for this project. Things like Web Terminal are just broadly helpful, but also templates like the full stack template, the interoperability Python template. Depending on what you want to build for your submission, starting from one of these things could be a very useful way to get up and running really quickly. And then down here, we just have, broadly speaking, helpful resources. So if you are new, welcome. If you've never really built an application with Iris, or if you're still kind of getting familiar with our technology, some of these resources down here are going to be really useful. We have learning paths, we have instructional tutorials in the community, and things like how to publish to OpenExchange, some of the more logistical details there. So that is our contest, full stack. The one thing I want to reiterate again, full stack means Iris for health, or Iris as a backend, and then building a web application or mobile application as a front end. We really want to see the full stack, hence the name. And then the last thing, I'll reiterate these dates again. So starting today, February 2nd, and running until February 22nd, that is going to be the development and submission period. And then the voting period is going to be February 23rd until March 1st. That's when voting ends. And then we will have a winners webinar. We'll announce the winners after that. So awesome. Thank you all for joining. That's enough from me about the logistics here. But I will kick it over. So we have some folks on the call now. Raj, maybe I'll start with you. Raj is our product manager of developer experience. So why don't you maybe kick us off with some ideas for things that you'd like to see, or areas of kind of need when it comes to full stack development.
Yeah, sure. I'm glad to be here as always, and excited to kick off a new year developer contest. In particular, we are really interested in Python more than ever. Sure, we said this the last couple of years, but we have DB API and SQL Alchemy drivers, which are definitely ready for prime time and testing and hardening with that in the field. So would love to see plenty of submissions that exercise those. In addition, I would like to sort of point out that there are some environments which are definitely qualify as full stack that you may not think of normally, like Jupyter Notebooks. Jupyter Notebooks as a front end would be something great to play with. And we have InterSystems community extension for doing native object script work with Jupyter Notebooks, but of course you can always use standard Python access for that as well. And specifically or particularly in the data science and data analytics area, could be a lot of fun to play with either Jupyter Notebooks or different ways to visualize your data, all the data in a namespace, for example. We're looking a lot at new ways to check out what you have in Iris or a larger data catalog, and being able to drill down and look at all your data sets. So that's a very interesting area as far as I'm concerned this year.
I totally agree. I think one of the things that is most interesting to me about a contest with such a broad concept is that there's a lot of room for imagination. It doesn't always have to be the exact same front end technologies that we've been using for the last 5 years. You can really get creative with it. And you can build to a different persona, right? If you're somebody who works a lot with data, to Raj's point, do something that showcases stuff that would help you day to day. You don't have to build a to-do list app. In fact, you can, but I would recommend maybe not building a to-do list app. We've all seen that. Awesome. So I will go ahead and if anybody else on the call has some other requests or other perspectives on stuff we might like to see, feel free to jump on. The bonuses for this contest, I'll just get this out of the way now. We are compiling them, and that will be linked to from the community announcement for the contest. So if you're looking to score some extra points using specific technologies or things like that, check out the bonuses listing. It will be linked from the community announcement that you will see if you're watching this later under this video. Awesome. Thanks you all. Thank you all for joining. Any last thoughts before we?
Actually, yes, I have a last thought.
Yeah,
We
let's hear
didn't
it.
we didn't prepare this so well because I'm going to surprise. This might be a big surprise, but it just occurs to me that AI submissions are probably going to be very popular this year, and I think that we have to. It, it's not something that we would probably want to exclude. We probably want to learn from the way developers are starting to change the way they work, in addition to just the end product, what the application is. So if you use AI, which I bet a lot of people will begin to do, I'd be really interested in understanding your whole process of how you use it and what tools are your favorites and everything. That whole insight into how you're changing the way you work is really interesting this year.
Yeah, totally. I think that's a great call out. These tools are uh, more and more present every day. I think we're all aware of that. I am not sure if it's linked in our full stack contest page specifically, but we do have a like AI policy for the community. So certainly by no means are these submissions like not allowed, but we also want to make sure that we're seeing your unique perspective and expertise as a part of the contest as well. So I'll make sure that underneath this, our AI terms for the community submissions and whatnot are also linked. And then to Raj's point, that narrative of how your workflow is changing, super, super important for us as we build products that you're going to interact with both personally and through these agents and other interfaces. So I appreciate that, Raj. Appreciate you calling that out. Awesome. Thank you all for joining. If anybody else has anything they want to cover real quick, feel free to jump in. But otherwise, get building, and I can't wait to see what you all create. Awesome. Thanks, everybody.
Okay. See.